Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, since one of my fuck, stay up there we go. Since one of my highest rating videos was about vampires, I'm gonna do another one. And for those of you that do not know, vampires are very real, and there are about 6 different things like vampires. Okay, there are real vampires that drink blood or blood substitutions such as red liquid with something mixed into it to like satisfy the needs and the cravings. So kind of like this. And then there are vampires that suck the energy out of you. So like everyone like spiritually has energy that goes around the whole entire body. And there are spiritual vampires that drain that. They can do that by like taking 2 fingers and like pressing them into you, or other different ways. And then there are vampires that dress up like vampires, and and then there are other types and there are ones that can be sedated, like vampires that have certain traits like vampires, like say albinos. They can be seen with red eyes, and they have very pale skin, which can allow them to get sunburned very easily and get skin cancer very easily. So they would have to stay inside, being somewhat of a type of vampire. Then there's people with a type of disease with they can't eat garlic. They can get very badly injured from sunlight. I forget what else, but like that's like the main disease like caused like kind of like with vampires, and they have to be completely nocturnal. Like the sun can actually kill people with this type of disease. Has something to do with like the blood in you. Like it's a blood disease that you have to be born with that get. I'm going to like show different ways that you can tell if you are around a vampire, a real vampire, because obviously some that's going to be like they're going to tell you, and the other ones are like they won't even think about telling you that the fucking vampire is. And one of the most obvious ways. Oh, and by the way, before we start this, vampires are often known to be pale, but some vampires can be black, red, or like just different colors, right? Some vampires only get very pale in sunlight. It's like probably look a bit white right now, but I get a really, really fucking pale if I'm exposed to any bit of sunlight. Most vampires, if you are around them, if you are friends with them, and if you have been to the house or been around them at night and during day, you will often, like really, really often notice this is very easy to notice that they are way more active, way more active at night. Like during the day, they would probably do practically nothing if they have to be awake during the day, and like probably try to sleep during the day or like rest the eyes. And then at night, they would be more active, more awake. They would probably be like the senses would be more heightened. I forget what else. A lot more changes. I do not keep track of that. Oh yeah, I'm trying to keep track of things that people would notice, like things like the hearing increases, like eyesight gets better, instincts better. But I'm trying to like think about things that normally change that people can see. Because really, it's just the attitude and like how they're more active. By the way, vampires, you see how I don't have fangs? most vampires will not have fangs. Like before, like in the medieval times, or like before things like blood substitution, vampires needed large fangs to bite into humans and animals to dig down far enough to make them bleed to then drink the blood. Obviously, it's kind of like now how people have like way smaller mouths, right? And like that's why most people get the wisdom teeth removed now, because the mouth is too small for the wisdom teeth. Like because of how humans evolved now, because they don't need the teeth and the mouth to be really big. Same thing as vampires, evolved not to need fangs to blend in more to humans, and because they can just get blood from a blood bank, they get it more consently, like with consent now, and because like a lot of people would probably just say yes, or like they can get it from donation. Now there's more blood substitution. So vampires don't have fangs. Some still do, where some will. You can often see vampires. They don't have fangs. Then they may have like something like maybe a like it will often be in the shape of something vampire like, maybe a bat or something. But on it there are almost always like two mini little fangs like on this tinier thing where they can stab into someone to then drink blood that they may have on them if they do prefer drinking blood that way. And another thing with vampires is, like, yes, they're very, very pale, but also they can be, like, just like me, how I probably have similar skin tone to a normal person right now. But as I said before, my skin gets really, really fucking pale. Just probably about as white, maybe whiter than that. And if I'm out in the sun, vampires also cannot tan. Okay? If you see a vampire with a tan, they are not a vampire. Right? If you see a person and they have a tan, they're not a vampire. Okay? If you another thing, like let's say you're a teenager and you think like one of your classmates is a vampire, a good thing to keep in mind is, are they stronger? Like, do they work out? Okay, because if they do, like, the most likely going to be stronger. Okay, if they don't work out, but they are still stronger, like naturally stronger, then most likely a vampire. If they are very fast, and like if you notice that like they probably have asthma when they're fast, or like let's say you never see them run, but they're fast, or like they have weak legs but they're fast. Like if you see them paired up with anything that probably would not allow you to run that often, but they can still run very fast, probably because they're a vampire and they can naturally run faster. Another thing that really gives it away, but you really have to notice, is that with me, like, you can like really often notice as you can probably tell, like, if I wasn't talking and like really self-aware, because in this I am pretty self-aware because I'm constantly looking at myself, so I'm self-aware about my breathing. But on average, I normally don't actually breathe that much. Like, I probably breathe for a few seconds and then like my chest, you often see, does not move that much. That's because vampires are technically undead, half alive, half dead, and because of that, we don't need the breathe as option. Now with me, I've actually done you can go and do like tests to see if you're a vampire on certain things. So like, I do recommend doing like 5, maybe 10 different tests on different websites to confirm it or to not. And if the majority of them is right, then you're most likely a vampire. With all of the tests, for me, they will all actually corrected, like, accurate. With me, normally vampires will either really hate the cold or really love the cold also. And for a fun fact, a really fun fact, I'm pretty either this Monday or this Tuesday, it's gonna be a blood moon. Yeah, it's gonna be a blood moon, just so you know. Oh, so tell anyone within the first couple days of you seeing this, like, so the 3rd of this month, there's gonna be a blood moon. And so tell anyone that you think or expect that might be a vampire, hey, there's gonna be a blood moon. And if you see them get really, really fucking happy, or you see any bit of excitement on their face of seeing a blood moon, then they are a vampire. They are a real vampire. Because, like, well, they could be a werewolf also. And it's actually going to be a full moon that's a blood moon. Whereas vampires get more powers during a blood moon, specifically a blood moon. And that's because it's a blood moon. Also, you may see some vampires, like, probably none of them have something to check, like, when they need to drink blood or something. That's very rare though, but those are for the ones that forget, like, I need to drink blood or a substitution. And now it's time for some trades. I don't think I will try. Okay, if you look really fucking closely, you can see underneath my eyes was kind of on the camera look brown. If you look in the eyes like really closely, there's a tiny dark circle, like a very dark rim around my iris. And that's something that every single vampire has. If they don't have that, they're not a vampire. Okay? And you can become a vampire in different ways. One, under a blood moon. That is one of the main ways to become a vampire. A second way, now the blood moon one is pretty simple, is you have to drink real blood. No, not your own blood, someone else's blood. No, I'm joking, it can be your blood. You have to drink it during a blood moon. And I'm not quite sure what else for the under the blood moon thing. For other things, I'm pretty sure you can do potions. Like, I saw another potion where it's like you have something red. Like, for me, this is my blood substitution. And I'm pretty sure if you want to become a vampire, I'm pretty sure you dip your finger in a red liquid at night. And I think the person said, pale skin, blood red, moonlight, draw me in. Pretty sure that's what the person said on that. I'm not too sure about that because when I've tried it, it didn't work. Because he did say that they're supposed to feel a cold, like, shiver going down your back. I never felt that, so. But though I'm already half vampire. So, and if you're wondering, I passed the vampire test. I passed the demon test somewhat, because there are different tests to see different type of species. Oh, and by the way, if you're an atheist, like, I think it's safe to say that if you're an atheist, you can get the fuck out. Okay? We do not like atheists here. Some other notable things with vampires is the eyes are not actually red. They can glow red. But are they normally red? No. And here's a really notable thing. easiest way to tell they're a vampire, are they complaining about the sun? This should be self-planetary. They complain about the fucking sun. If they do not complain about any other type of bright light besides from the sun, most likely vampire. If they have a crap ton of sunscreen, I mean, I do have sunscreen. Do I wear it? No, but that's because I constantly have my body hidden underneath sweaters. And I also almost always have my hood up, too. And I also wear sunglasses, too, to protect my eyes as well. So the only bit of skin that would, and like the only skin that's ever covered is that's actually exposed on my hands and the tiny bit of face that I normally just keep my head down. So I don't really need sunscreen, but if it's the middle of the summer, it's really hot, I'm definitely wearing sunscreen. And real vampires do not burn in sunlight. They don't. They actually and really do not burn in sunlight. That is a myth. Like, they won't die from it. Can sunlight physically hit their skin? Yes. Can they get badly sunburned? Yes. Can they get cancer and die from that? Yes. And another easy way to tell if they are a vampire is judging by how much they eat, how much they drink, how much they use the bathroom in a run of a day. If they have ever been in a crash and like went out completely unnoticed, because in the vampire test is did you survive a type of accident with a needle to no damage? And I survived getting hit by a car with actually no fucking damage. And vampires often do look younger than what they are. And I was actually, and multiple times by cops and other people I have been mistaken to be like, I believe the person said 12 or 13, with I've been alive for 14 years. Vampires also age way slower, and if my memory is correct, vampires age once every 2 to 3 years. This is going to be an end. And this is part 1